So, welcome to chemo cycle 2 of 6. It's now 8:45 a.m. and I'm waiting to be called into clinic. That's when my oncologist will check that I'm okay to proceed with today's chemo session and will also review the events of the chemo session that's just finished. That's also when I expect to get a proper bollocking for not reporting in first thing to a hospital when I showed signs of infection. And it's showtime. I've just been called to clinic. Blimey. A proper bollocking from the oncology team. Twice. You could have died. Don't do it again. So, I'm barred from chemo for another week because they feel I haven't recovered properly from the infection. Epic fail. So, welcome to chemo session 2 of 6. It's 8:45 a.m. and I'm now waiting to go into clinic. That's when my oncologist will check that I'm okay to proceed with today's chemo session and would also review the events of the chemo session that's just finished. And it's showtime. I've just been called into clinic.
You're all set?
Yeah,
Match fit, agreed.
brilliant. Which one do you want?
Let's use that
This one? Yeah. Now that I've finally been declared match fit, I'm in chemo cycle 2. The whole process will take about a couple of hours and the chemical used is called docetaxel.
So again in 15 minutes you do it.
Okay.
I'll give you a pre-med and the book, just bear with me.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
How are you feeling at the minute?
Absolutely fine.
So, day 3, cycle 2. Still no sign of the side effects. But for now, I'm taking it really easy because this evening I'm going out to see the Magic Band on their final ever tour.
Boys and girls, earth people around the circle, this is a man alive. Big ideas between us, don't let anything get between us.
So, a week in and cycle 2 couldn't be more different than the infection fiasco of cycle 1. A few days of fairly minor joint pain and fatigue, a couple of mouth ulcers, and that's about it. Basically a walk in the park.
If it sometimes seems like I don't know what's going on with all of this, there's a good reason for that. I don't really know where any of this is going. Here's the problem. Catch cancer while it's still contained within the prostate, and you have a number of options depending on how advanced the condition is. And all of those options are aimed at permanently removing the cancer. But I don't have any of those options because my cancer has already advanced outside the prostate. There's not much of it, and it's not widespread. But that doesn't matter. Once it's out, it's out. Statistically, I have a 30% chance of surviving 5 years. But that's based on the general population and assumes all my treatments are effective. I'm in better condition than average for my age, so I could last a lot longer. On the other hand, if my chemo fires blanks and my hormone therapy also fails, my future could be measured in months.
In fact, the only thing I know for certain is that somebody's got to be in that 30%. So I'm going to do my best to make sure I'm that somebody. In fact, guess where I've just been? I know. It's almost like I just can't keep myself away.
What happened was I awoke with a very slight sore throat, the kind of which I'd probably ignore if I wasn't on chemo. However, a sore throat is one of the triggers listed as an infection warning when on chemotherapy, and there is no way I'm going to be the chemo patient who failed to call in an infection alert 2 cycles running. So I called my oncology team. This time I actually took their advice and surrendered myself to my local hospital emergency department. There I swept past the queues by presenting my chemotherapy record booklet and spent several hours being very thoroughly checked out and loaded up with antibiotics. The result was that I was declared infection-free and allowed home, which is a lot better than spending 8 days in hospital.
Ain't no snafu, no fault at all.